शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं वरदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यामि लक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। 52.
यो देवानामिति प्रोक्तैः दिव्यमन्त्रैस्तमीश्वरम् मुमुक्षु प्रार्थयेत्यैव सदा बुद्धिविशुद्धये।
So in the first two chapters, what was unfolded was Tattva and Yoga. Tattva is Atma Jnana Nirupana. Yoga, Pranava Dhyana coupled with Ashtanga Yoga to make the mind get absorbed in the Swarupa. This is for whom? Uttama Adhikari. Manda Adhikari is not capable of taking to this in terms of getting the mind absorbed in the Swarupa. For him, the Sopadika Brahma is being described with the sadhanas that are to be taken to in terms of prayers, etc. So that Ishvara was described, and then in the stanza 52, Yo Devanam, etc. That is Shvetashatra, 3rd chapter, 4th, 5th and 6th mantras. These three have to be taken for japa, for prarthana. So by this prarthana, one gains the buddhi shuddhi. Shuddha antakarana one can gain, which is indispensable to gain the knowledge of Brahma. So therefore, we have seen out of these three, Yo Devanam Prabhavascha Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Ghora Papakashini, two we have seen. Third, I will give the meaning as such. So this fifth, that Yate Rudra Shiva and Yamishungirishantahaste Vibharshastave. This is from Rudradhyaya. So the other is from Shvetashtra Yo Devanam. The third one is Yamishungirishantahaste Vibharshastave Shivangiritratan Kurumahi Gumsi Purushan Jagat. So meaning is like this. O Girishanta. Girishanta is addressed to Lord Shiva. Why is called? Earlier what was there? Giritra was there. We had seen the meaning of Giritra. So Shiva only. Now Girishanta. So what is the meaning of Girishanta? Girishanta. So Girim. Girishanta we have seen. Now other one is Giritra. So okay, Girishanta we already seen. Now here it is the Girishanta, no, Giritra. So Giritra, who is the Giritra? Girim Trayate iti Giritra. So one who protects the Giri. Kaila, he is the overlord of Kailasa. So Girim Trayate. Or Gir also means walk. This meaning also in the context of Girishanta. Gir means walk, speech. So here, what speech it is? Pratidnyavak means resoluteness of Shiva. So what is that resoluteness? Giri pratidnya rupayam vachi stitva girau. So Giri, yes, Giri means locative of that. So that is pratidnya rupayam vachi stitva means standing by his own, that is the determination or resoluteness, means oath. Pratidnya means oath. Oath means whatever promise that he has given. What is that? Bhakta Rakshana. So he abides by the promise that he protects the devotees. From that standpoint, Giri pratidnya rupayam vachi stitva bhajataha trayate, protects. Whom? Bhajataha, those who seek him, certainly he protects. Ishvara's promise can never go otherwise. Many times it may appear it is not fructifying, but it has got its own time, it has got its own reasons, etc. But it can never go wrong as such. So therefore, one who is intent on fulfilling his promise of protecting the devotees, that is what Giritra. So Girishanta, Giritra, two addresses are there. O Lord, Yam Ishum, whatever issue is what? Bana. See, earlier it was Aghora Rupa Shivatanu. Now it is addressing to Ghoratanu. Ghoratanu means frightful, fearful, with weapons of destruction, etc. So that is addressed there. O Lord, says, Yam Ishum, whatever Bana, that whatever arrow you have held in your hand. What for? See, Yamishung girishanta haste bibarshastave astave haste bibarshi. Astave, to throw, to shoot. Where have you done to shoot? Where have you held it? Haste, that is in your hand. Whatever that arrow that you have kept to shoot it or throw it, sorry, hasta, giri haste bibarshi. Bibarshi means you are holding. To whom? To shoot at whom? Astave means asitum, to shoot at. At whom? Papistan dushteshu ksheptum. To throw to who are papis, who are dushta. So for wicked people, papi people, to punish them, whatever that issue that you have held in your hand, he says, so the haste bibarshi, you are holding in your hand. Tam means that issue, he says, please, Shivam Kuru, Shivam Kuru, Shobhanam Kuru, Mangalam Kuru. Don't be that fearful. So why? हमको बचाओ. वो पापी दुष्ट रहने दो, लेकिन हमको और हमारे लोगों को बचाओ, हमारे लोगों को, हमारे प्रॉपर्टी सब बचाओ. So that what say Shivam Kuru, Shobhanam Kuru, Mangalam Kuru. Make it auspicious, make it pleasing. Whom? Why? Whom are you intending at, aiming at? So what is that Shivatva issue? Making it Mangala, making it Shiva. What is that Shobhana? What is that? Ma Himsihi. Please don't destroy. Whom? Purusham. With that Purusha? Madhya Putra Pautradi Rupam Jana. My children, progeny, etc., etc. So my people, not only that, say Jagat, Mahi Himsihi, Purusham Jagat. Other thing also, other than my people, property and all those things also, please, for heaven's sake, don't destroy. So therefore, Anyadapi, Gau Manushya Adikam, Griham Kshetra Adikam. So house, property, field, cattle, etc. Please don't destroy. Make it Shivam Kuru, Mangalam Kuru, Shobhanam Kuru. Please protect us. So Purusham Jagat. So this is the third mantra. So these three mantras are meant for taking to repeated prayers so that one can gain the Buddhi Vishuddhi. This is for Mandadikari. So that Buddhi Vishuddhi, Shuddhantakarana is indispensable to gain the knowledge. So repeated prayers are being offered. These being Vedic mantras, these are very powerful mantras. And Shvetashvara Upanishad is Mantropanishad. So these are very useful mantras, can be taken to for prayer every day as such. That's why I gave the meaning of these three, though they are not given in the stanzas. So now, from 53 to 56, the result of this Atma Jnana is Amritatva Prapti. Amritatva Prapti means Moksha Prapti. So if you gain this Atma Jnana, you gain the Moksha. This is explained in the third chapter from mantra 7 to 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. In these four mantras, that this Tataha, Parabrahma, Param, etc. it goes on. So this knowledge confers moksha. So that is now explained one by one. 53 corresponds to 3-7, 54 corresponds to 3-8, 55 corresponds to 3-9, 3-9 means third chapter 9 mantra, 56 corresponds to 3-10. Let us take now.
Tata Sudramati Brahma Sarva Bhuteshvavasthitam Antar Bahishya Samvyaptam Jnatva Samruttivarjitah
Jnatva Smrutivarjitah Antar Bahishcha, that cha appears as shva, it should be scha. Antar Bahishcha, not vakara, chakara must be there. Tataha
Shuddhamati Sarvabhuteshu Avasthitam
Sarvabhuteshu Avasthitam
Antar Bahishya
Antaha Bahishcha Bahihi cha Antar Bahishcha
Antaha Bahishya Samvyaptam Brahma Jnatva Vritti Varjitah Syat Tata Shuddhamati Sarvabhuteshu Avasthitam Antaha Bahishya Samvyaptam Brahma Jnatva Vritti Varjitah Syat.
Tataha, thereafter. Thereafter means what? After gaining the Buddhi Shuddhi, for which prayers were recommended. So thereafter, Shuddhamatihi, so one who has got Shuddha Antakarana. And what capability the Shuddha Antakarana confers? In Shuddha Antakarana, Brahma can get reflected in its true nature without anything that is adhyasta, without the cognition of anything that is superimposed. So that is a Shuddhamatihi. So that is necessary to eliminate the ignorance. So Shuddhamatihi Sarva Bhuteshu Avasthitam Antar Bahishcha Samvyaptam Brahma Jnatva. Brahma Jnatva, having got the knowledge of Brahma, having directly cognized the Brahma Jnatva. So, and what is that Brahma? Sarva Bhuteshu Avasthitam, abiding in all the beings. See, abiding, remaining in all the beings is also not a totally correct statement. We make it. Do you know why? If Brahma abides in all, we are superior. We are superior. All beings in whom Brahma is there. The container is, it is that support as such, is it not? So that way, Brahma abides in all, or everything abides in Brahma. Adhyastha abides in Adhisthana. Then how Shruti says so? It is to make us understand. To begin God, everything abides in Brahma will not get clicked there. So therefore, first, it is like that. Light is in me. No, yes, light is in me. I am in light. I am light. Like that is some say. So light means Brahma. It is in me. First step. Then I am in light. Finally is what? Me is light. Light means here Brahma Tattva. So Brahma Tattva is in me. Entire creation is in Brahma Tattva. Everything is nothing but, including me, is what? Nothing but Brahma Tattva. These are the stages to educate and make one understand yourself. They can't be in fact, you open the mouth, it is foul. Even you utter Brahma. Cannot be word for Brahma. Do you know why? Brahma word is the relative word. What do you mean by Brahma? Biggest. It is relative with respect to small. There must be small, then you can say Brahma. But without the words we can't unfold. So we have to make use of this. Shruti also makes use of this. But we should know what we are aiming at through this teaching, direct cognition of Swarupa and not simply catching the words. So Sarva Bhuteshu Avasthitam. So that is Brahma abiding in all, and not that it is simply inside only as such. It can give a wrong notion. It is inside. Antaha Bahishcha, within, without, everywhere. It is everything. So Samvyaptam, pervading, within, without. That Brahma Jnatva, having directly cognized, Mritivarjitaha Syat. So one becomes free from Mriti. Mriti means Marana. Marana signifies Samsara. Marana signifies Samsara. So Mritivarjitaha Syat. So, now next mantra 3.8 Vedahanetam Purusham Mahandam etc. The sage Shvetasvatara declares, oh, I have got this knowledge, and the one, not only me, whoever gains knowledge can gain moksha. It is not something special of me as such. So anyone who gains the knowledge of this Brahma can get freed from samsara.
Purusham vedmikam prabhum Anyo vidam veditatve
Viditvaiva
Anyo vidam veditvaiva Mrityu madhyevi Anvaya Shvetashvara Nama Aham tam Purusham Prabhum Vedmi Anya Api Tam Viditva Eva Mrityum Atyeti Anyatha na. Again, Shvetashvatara Nama Aham Tam Purusham Prabhum Vedmi Anya Api Tam Viditva Eva Mrityum Atyeti Anyatha na.
So Shveta Shvatara Nama Aham. Me, who is me? Whose name is Shveta Shvatara. It declares me, Shveta Shvatara Nama, the sage Shveta Shvatara. Me, Tam Purusham Prabhum Vedmi. I know that Purusha. I have directly discovered, I have directly cognized that Purusha. This is the Purusha, Purnatvat Purusha, the one who is full and complete, or one who is abiding in all the beings. Pura Ushatiti Purusha or Purnatvat Purusha. Purusham Prabhum, the overlord of entire creation. So Prabhum, so that is entire creation is born of whom? So that is Prabhum, so the overlord. Tam Vedmi, I know for certain. Not only that, anyone who has got the direct cognition, direct knowledge of that Purusha, Prabhu, gets freed from samsara. Anyahapi, even if any other one who is a seeker, tam viditva eva, only by knowing the Prabhu, means Brahma, Atma, Brahma. That viditva eva, emphasis on knowing, which will be explained. There is no other means to get freedom from samsara. So viditva eva, by directly knowing this Brahma, what does he gain? Mrutyum atteti. Atteti crosses over, transgresses mrutyum. Mrityu here is mrityu, samsara characterized by mrityu. So samsara again he gains moksha. Can there be any other means? No. Anyatha mrityum na teti. By any other means it is not possible to cross over this samsara sagara. So that I have got this knowledge. And what is the nature of that Purusha? So that is explained in the next stanza, that is Yasmat param na paramasti kinchid yasmanani yonajjayo stikashchit vrikshaiva stabdo divitishtate kaste nedam purnam purushena sarvam. This is the next mantra. Yasmat param aparam na asti kinchit. There is nothing, this Purusha is one who is full and complete, superior to whom or inferior to whom, none. This is what that Purusha alone is. Yasmat param, superior, aparam, inferior, kinchit nasti, yasmanani yonajjayo kaschit, aniya, subtler than whom, grosser than whom, there is nothing. Vrikshaiva stabdo divitishtate kastenedam purnam purushena sarvam. Vrikshaiva stabdha. Stabda means still, without motion, like a tree. I don't know whether you have noticed it. Bombay people will not notice. You should go in the forest, etc. And when there is not even the breeze, the trees stand still. It's the ideal situation for meditation, like mountains or grass fields where not even a single blade of grass is, as the paddy fields. You should Kerala, etc. should see, not a single blade of grass is moving. That is what is given. As if the earth is meditating, as if the mountains are meditating. Like that, very still trees, etc. Not even a leaf is moving. That is what motionless means, vikara rahita. So that is a vriksha yuvastabdha. So free from any vikara modification, like a still tree. Divitishtati. Creation somewhere in corner, a little to minute portion, but is it pado savishva bhutani tripadasya divi. That divi means what? In the Brahma Swarupa, where there is no creation, and this creation is only pada. It is just a small portion of Brahma where the creation appears, but no, tripad, you should not take it 1/4 and 3/4, little, and rest everything is divi. Divi means in its own Swarupa without any creation. So therefore here divitishtati. So that is, even if creation is there, he is in his own Swarupa, because the creation is something falsely superimposed. Ekaha advitiyaha. So So ekaha advitiya. Jagat is falsely superimposed. Tena idam purnam urtena purushena idam sarvam purnam. By that Purusha, this entire Jagat is permeated. It is the basis of entire Jagat. So that meaning is given now.
Yasmat param na param va kinchit asti tadadvayam Rukshavan nishchalam tena Purnam sarvamidam jagat. Anvaya Yasmat param aparam va kinchit na asti tad advayam Rukshavat Nishchalam Tena Sarvam Idam Jagat Purnam. Again. Yasmat param aparam va kinchit na asti tad advayam Rukshavat Nishchalam Tena Sarvam Idam Jagat Purnam.
Yasmat param aparam va kinchit nasti. Than whom param superior low. Aparam no, param superior exalted not low. Superior exalted param. Aparam inferior low. So than whom there is nothing superior or inferior. Na kinchit asti, nothing is that. Tad advayam, that ekam, that is advayam. So non-dual, that and that alone is there. So vrikshavat nishchalam, it is nishchala, motionless, like a tree. Not like any tree as such, like a motionless tree. So it is vrikshavat nishchalam. Tena, by that Purusha, by that Brahma, id sarvam idam jagat purnam. This entire jagat is purnam vyaptam. It is the very basis of entire creation. And those who have got the knowledge of this, they become liberated from the samsara. Whereas those who have not got the knowledge, they get subjected to sorrow of samsara. That is told in the next mantra 310. Ye etad viduhu. Those who have got the knowledge of this Brahma, amrutaste bhavanti, they become immortal, means they get moksha. Atha itare, other than those means who have not got the knowledge. So atha itare, dukkham eva apiyanti. So they gain nothing but sorrow, means they continue to be in the samsara, which is sorrowful. So that is now explained. Etad vidur
Syurye tunatad viduhu te dukkhameva gachanti nadat sopatiyekshani. Advaya ye etad
syuhu, ye is that, take that ye. Ye etad
viduhu te vruddhivinaah syuhu. Add adhyar ye.
Second time take ye.
Add adhyar ye tu tad na viduhu te dukkhameva gachanti सोपाधिके क्षणे अध्याहार अपि तत् न अध्याहार गच्छन्ति
ये एतद्विदुः के मृत्युहीनाः स्युः। अगेन ये तु तत् न विदुः ते दुःखम एव गच्छन्ति। सोपाधिके क्षणे एड अपि तत् न अगेन गच्छन्ति। So those who have got the knowledge of this Atma, Brahma, so they get freed from this Mrityu Rupa Samsara. Ye etat Brahma viduhu have know how with Sakshatkara, direct cognition, aparokshanubhuti, aparokshanubhava viduhu, te those Mrityuhinaha sihu, they become free from death, means free from mortality, free from samsara. In contrast to this, yetu, those who are those tat na viduhu, tat is Brahma, so tat Brahma, na viduhu, don't know, have got no knowledge of Brahma, ignorant of Brahma. Te those dukkham eva gachanti. Dukkham eva gachanti. They get sorrow, means they continue to be in the samsara, which is nothing but sorrow only. Dukkham eva gachanti. But here there is one exception. What is that? Even though one is ajnani, even though one is ignorant of Swarupa, that is Brahma, but if they have got this eligibility, what is that eligibility or qualification? If they have got sopadhike kshane api, if they have got the darshana of sopadhika Ishvara, in contrast to nirupadhika Brahma, so if they have got darshana sopadhika ikshana, tat na gachanti, tat means that sorrow, na gachanti, na prapnuvanti, they don't get the sorrow of samsara. How is it? That will be explained in stanza 61. Means that those who have got the darshan of Sopadikeshwara, by prayer they can get freed from samsara because of the anugraha of Ishvara, which can be invoked through prayers. So this will be explained in stanza 61. So in the Mula Shruti, from 3rd chapter, 11th mantra to 18th mantra, so the darshana of Ishvara, Sopadika Ishvara will be told, and those who have got this darshana and varnana, not only the darshana, the varnana, the description of Sopadika Ishvara will be told in chapter 3 of the Shvetashvara Upanishad, mantra 11 to 18. And those who have got this, so by prayer, by invoking the grace of Ishvara, they can also get freed from samsara. Giving the direct cognition, direct knowledge of Nirupadhi Atma, Nirupadhi Brahma is difficult. We lack, for those who lack the prepared frame of mind, whereas those who have for the number, or generally for all, Sopadhika Ikshana, the darshana Sopadhika Ishvara is relatively easy. Durlaksho nirupadhyatma sukshma dhirvarjitairnaraihi sulaksha eva sopadhi tasmadevam smaredanam. Sukshma dhivarjitaihi naraihi nirupadhyatma durlaksha. सोपाधि एड आत्मा एव एड सर्वैः सुलक्षः तस्मात् एवं अमुं स्मरेत् तस्मात् एवं अमुं स्मरेत्. The knowledge aparoksha jnana of Nirupadhyatma, Nirupadi Brahma is difficult for whom? Sukshma dhir varjitaihi. Sukshma dhir varjitaihi. So those who lack Sukshma dhihi. So what is Sukshma dhihi? Ati Shuddhanta Karana. The Antakarana, which has got the capacity to reflect the Nirupadika Brahma in its true nature, is not there. With that readiness is lacking in whom? For such people, Nirupadhyatma, the Brahma, free from Upadi, Nirakara, Nirupadi, Durlakshaha, difficult to comprehend. Whereas in contrast to this, Sopadhi Atma. The Sopadhi Atma, the Sakara Ishvara, the Atma, Eva, verily, Sarvaihi, by all, means to all, Sulakshaha, easy to comprehend. Sulakshaha, easy to comprehend. So therefore what is to be done? Tasmat, because Sopadhyatma, Sakara Ishvara is easy to comprehend in contrast to difficulty in gaining the direct knowledge of Nirupadhyatma for those who lack Sukshmadhi or who lack Atishuddhantakarana, and therefore evam, in this manner. What is that manner? Lakshamana Prakarena, by the manner that will be told now in stanza 58 corresponding to Shvetashvara Upanishad, 3rd chapter, mantra 11 to 18. So Vaksham evam, in this manner, in the manner that is to be told in stanza 58. Amum means Sopadhi Atmanam, Sakara Ishwaram. Amum Sasmare, one should meditate upon that. In the manner, one should meditate upon Ishvara, Sakara Ishvara, in the manner that is to be going to be told. So for this meditation, the nature, the Swarupa of Sopadhika Ishvara is now described, of course, here only in 58 by giving the first line of 11th mantra, chapter 3 of Shvetashvara, and second line of 18th mantra of chapter 3 of Shvetashvara. First line of stanza 58 corresponds to first line of mantra 11, chapter 3, Shvetashvara, whereas the second line of 58 corresponds to second line of 18th mantra, chapter 3 of Shvetashvara Upanishad. Sarvanana Shirodrivaha Sarvabhuta Guhashayaha Vashi Sarvasya Lokasya Sthavarasya Charasya Cha. Sarvanana Shirodrivaha Sarvabhuta Guhashayaha Sarvasya Sthavarasya Charasya Cha Lokasya Vashi. Sarvasya Sthavarasya Charasya Cha Lokasya Vashi. So that Sopadhika Ishvara is like this, is described as Sarvanana Shirogrivaha. So one who has got all anana faces, mukha, shiraha, the head, grivaha, the neck. Here, face, head, neck is upalakshana for all the indriyat, antakarana, etc., all upadi, all the embodiments. So sarvana shirogra. So the one who has got all the four faces, all the heads, all the necks, what does it mean? Whatever limbs or whatever upadhi that belongs to all living beings actually belong to whom? Parameshwara only. In our ignorance, we isolate ourselves from the totality, identify with the embodiment, and usurp these indriyas, etc., as if belonging to me. In fact, they belong to Ishvara only. From that standpoint, all avayavas, all antakarana, everything belongs to whom? This Parameshwara only. And where is available? This Sopadipeshwara, Sarva Bhuta Guhashaya. Sarva Bhuta Guhashaya abides in all antakarana. Further, Sarvasya Sthavarasya Charasya Cha Lokasya Vashi. One who is Vashi, Niyanta, the regulator, the controller, Niyamakaha of entire Jagat. What is that in the Jagat? Sarvasya Sthavarasya Charasya Cha Lokasya. The Sthavara, immobile, comprising trees, mountains, etc., which don't move. Charasya, mobile, human, birds, reptiles, animals, all those move. This entire world is the Niyamaka, regulator of entire creation. So that is the nature of Ishvara, Sopadika Ishvara, and such Sopadika Ishvara has to be meditated so that we can get the anugraha of this Ishvara to get the knowledge and thereby liberation. Same Ishvara is further described in Mantra 19 of Shvetasvatara chapter 3. There it is like this. Apanipado javano grihita pashyatya chakshus sa shunoti akarnaha. So this mantra is being explained in stanza 59. So here, apanipadaha javanaha, without the pani hands, see, he is grahita. He can see, he can catch, he can take to anything. Apadaha, without the feet, javanaha, he is very fast. He is very fast. Pashyati achakshuhu, so sees without the eye. Saha shunoti akaranaha, he listens, hears without the ears. Means all the faculties or the powers that are in Indriyas belong to this Parameshwara only. So that is explained. Vishvakara janetracha sarvau vyavahriti kshamaha apanipado javanaha grihita sarva shakti yuke. Vishvakara janehe pracha, and ayam atma, sarva vyavahriti kshamaha apanipadaha javanaha grihita sarva shakti. Vishvakara janehe pracha, even before Jani, the birth, utpatti of Vishvakara, entire prapancha, means prapanchotpattehe purvam api, even before the utpatti, the creation of entire prapancha, ayam atma, this atma is capable of what? All vyavaharas. Sarva vyavahriti kshamaha, is capable of taking to all vyavaharas. Whatever vyavaharas that are possible in the creation for all the beings by making use of their upadhis, embodiments, are possible for this Ishvara even before the creation. Example is given. Apanipadaha javanaha, that is, panim vina api grihita. Javanaha grihita is that. Grihita goes with pani, javanaha goes with pada. That is, apanihi grihita. Apani means panim vina api, without the hands. He is javanaha, he is, no, not javanaha, he is grihita, he is able to catch something, he is able to seize something, he is able to grasp something, he is able to hold something, hold anything. Apadaha गृहीता अपादः, पादम विनापि, even without the feet, Javanaha is very swift. Chakshurhinopi pashyati, without the chakshus, he eyes is able to see. Karnarahitopi, without even the ear, he is able to hear. So means he is sarva shakti yuk, endowed with all the powers, means sarvendriyadi shakti nam tadadhinatva saha sarva shakta. Faculties, the capacities of all indriyas are under whose control? Ishvara. They belong to Ishvara, and therefore even without these organs he is having that power, and therefore he is sarva shakti, he is sarva shakta. Further, anoraniyam mato mahiyam, this Ishvara is a anoho aniyam, nirupadhitaha tripramukhadi, he is the most subtle, subtler than anything subtle that you can conceive. At the same time, from Sopadika Ishvara, he is Mahato Mahiyam, he is bigger than anything that you can, is bigger than anything that you can conceive of. So this is told in the Apani. This is told in the Anoraniyam Mahato Mahiyam. So Vidyaranamani explains this as the Nirupadhika Atma is difficult to comprehend. The Sadhana Sopadhika Atma is easy to comprehend because of what is described as Anoraniyam Mahato Mahiyam. Anoraniyam Durlakshaha Mahiyam Natasputaha Ityatmanam Shastradrishtya Pashyato Nasti Dukkhita. Anoho Aniyam Durlakshaha Mahataha Mahiyam Sputaha Iti Atmanam Shastra Pashyatah Dukkhita Nasti. Anoho Aniyam Durlaksha. Atma, Brahma, he is subtler than the subtle, means free from all upadhi, nirupadhika. He is Durlaksha, difficult to comprehend, that is, it means the Anoharaniyan, who is nirupadhika, is difficult to know for whom? Manda buddhayaha, those who lack atishuddha antakarana. In contrast to this, same Atma with upadhi, mahataha mahiya, bigger than even the big means upadhika, is sputaha drashtum shakyah. Drashtum shakyah can be easily known. Iti, so atmanam shastra drishtya pashyatah. For the person who knows Atma in accordance with the Shastra, means as described in the Shastra, by putting in practice the means that are told in the Shastra to know Atma, Brahma, either Nirupadhikaya or Sopadhika, Shastra Pashyatah, Dukkhita Nasti, there is no sorrow at all, there is no samsara. You know, the one who has got knowledge of Nirupadhyatma directly gets liberated, whereas the one who has got Sopadhika Darshana of Ishvara, even though he has got the Darshana of Ishvara, maybe as described in the Shruti, still the ignorance is there, the direct cognition of Atma, Brahma is not there. How is it possible for such a person So even though exalted one, how is it possible for such a person to get free from samsara? That will be explained in the next paragraph. So that is the one who has got the Sopadika Darshana should take 2 prayers to the Ishvara by whose anugraha one can get freed from samsara. In this manner, those who are manda buddhi, those who lack atishuddha antakarana, they also can get freed from samsara by taking to upasana, meditation on Sopadika Ishvara along with proper prayers to get free from the ignorance, to get free from samsara sagara. So certainly they also can get free from samsara and gain moksha.